Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently flying over the moon. We are of course headed over to our moon cheese here, and we're going to set that as our target, but I'm not sure how useful that'll really be. We're going to need to add an inclination change maneuver at a certain point. Actually, right at the ascending node is probably where we want to do that. Yeah, we definitely do. So we're going to just do an inclination change around here, and we're going to bring that down to be correct on the inclination front, approximately. There we go, that would do the trick. And we're going to head on over. This is going to be 25.8 meters per second. Okay. Now, I did, off camera, put this down on the surface and check to see if we could move the Gigantors on the moon's surface, because I was a little concerned about that. Turns out we can. No worries about that one. So that's great. Let's warp on forward. We really should just be on normal, right? So that'll be fine for now. Wonderful. So we're warping on over, and we're going to get this inclination change done soon enough. Now we're going to burn all of this fuel on the way down for sure. No doubt about that. Oh, we never extended our high gain antenna. Technically, we don't need it, but I'm going to extend it regardless. There we go. That's a much better connection to the KSC. Should we be on anti-normal? Why are we going this way? Yeah, we should be on anti-normal. Okay, cool. So we're going to head on over there. That's 45 seconds away, so we've got time to get this thing on rotated. Excellent. Yeah, we're going to be flying directly over our target location. We'll make a few adjustments on the way in, I'm sure, but we're going to commence this burn in a few seconds here. 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That's probably good enough, right? Yeah, that should be good enough. So once we pass over our landing location, I'm going to do this slightly earlier. We're going to come in and slightly overshoot it, something along the lines of this. So we're going to flop on over to retrograde here. Beautiful. And this fuel here is mostly what we're going to be using for this landing for now, but I'm going to extend these landing legs. There we go. We are not extending the Gigantors. I'm pretty sure you can retract Gigantors, right? But we're not extending them regardless. We're going to warp on over. Cool. And we don't yet see the moon cheese, but it's over here somewhere. Oh, there it is, actually. It's about 50 kilometers away right now. And we're going to position right on the maneuver node. We'll definitely make adjustments on the way in, but this is going to be about a 49-second burn, 435 meters per second. Okay, let's just get this rotated to be right on that line. Not that that's necessary, but we'll do that, and we're going to warp forward another few seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and mark. Cool. So we're decelerating at this point. We can see that we're coming in basically directly over this thing, and that's great. Now, I have no idea where our actual landing bullseye is. I have not seen that yet. But for the moment, that's okay. I want to be in surface retrograde here for the moment. Okay. About another 200 meters per second to go here. Checking in on our actual orbit. And yeah, this'll do. I want to be overshooting it a little bit, like I said. So this is looking good for the moment. Okay. Another 10-ish meters per second. And that's slightly overshooting our target, but that's still looking pretty good. So we're going to hop over to surface retrograde here. And now we can warp forward a little bit. We know that this isn't exactly what we want. So we're going to warp forward. I'm going to physics warp from here so we can keep an eye on this. And we're going to commence this burn soon. Soon indeed. I think in about 30 seconds before. Just going by gut and where we're looking right now. Okay. So we'll commence this burn here. The idea behind this burn is to adjust our current position. And I do want to bring this back like so. Cool. So we're just looking to drop this marker right on the anti-target marker, right? And that's the goal here. So now we're going to bring this on down. We've still got enough delta V in this thing to almost land on at this point, which is slightly remarkable. But let's bring this right on in. Looks like we'll be a little bit off to the side, but we can definitely change that if we decide we want to. So let's physics warp forward a little bit. I'm going to burn a little early again because I specifically want to burn this out. I'm going to burn right now. We're going to burn everything out here. We've got about 70 meters per second to go there. Okay. 3, 2, 1, mark. Cool. This is not accurate. We're going up right now, or almost going up. This countdown is incorrect. Okay, that's exciting. We're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. So I want to move this over a little bit here. We can see the bullseye here. Right about there. Beautiful. That's actually basically exactly where I want it. And let's begin slowing down a bit here. Yeah, there goes that tank blowing up. So we're definitely going to have to do this the old-fashioned way since this is not particularly accurate at this moment. I do want to continue bringing us over a little bit closer here. I want to overshoot this ever so slightly, and we can see now that we've overshot. So I want to see our radar altitude, 500 meters. Okay. So we're going to target around here-ish for now. Cool. We're about 400 meters up. We've got plenty of gas here. No problem whatsoever there. I actually want to try to bring us in ever so slightly closer. Kind of like that. And let's slow it on down just a wee bit. We're at about 2/3 thrust here right now. 7 meters per second. 6. Throttling us down, going into stability assist. We're coming down at 5.7 meters per second right now. Just adjusting this ever so slightly. Okay. Ooh, this is very awkward right now as I'm trying to chase down our retrograde node. But there we go. Nice. 18 meters away. I'll take it. Honestly, that was really good. That was a really nice landing, all things considered. We're going to grab our crew report. We're going to grab our mystery goo observation, our seismic scan, and we're going to grab our material study, which apparently we can't do because that's currently locked. That's right. We need Bob here to hop out, and we're going to rerun these experiments. I just want to make sure that, you know, we're getting some science. Bob, can you land on this? Please? Up? A little bit? Okay, this works. So we're going to, at this point, reset this, assuming that we can get close enough. We'll restore the Science Junior. We'll open up our service bay. And this is, of course, not the main focus of the mission here, but we are now going to collect our data from the Mystery Goo Containment Unit, which apparently was not pre-collected. Okay, we'll collect this data and restore that. And we'll go back in for the time being. Beautiful. We'll collect what data we can up here. And we'll grab our material study, another seismic scan, and our mystery goo observation. And then we'll have Bob EVA. We'll grab another surface sample. This stuff is all going to be stored in the capsule here, assuming we can, which we should be able to. Get a little bit closer here. We collect this data and restore. Come on. Collect this data and restore. And we also wanted to grab the data from the seismic accelerometer. Okay, so we'll keep that data for right now, and we're going to apparently hit our head and fall down. Sure. Okay, let's get that a little bit more under control. There we go. Cool. And we'll grab all that. That data is going to live in here. Now we're going to grab these data again. Close our service bay door. Beautiful. Now we'll need to set all of this up as well. Oh, we have dual magnetometers. I didn't realize that. I only intended to have one. Okay, well, that's fine. We're going to close our Science Junior doors. That's all of our science work other than depositing the stuff. Right, now Bill is going to EVA, and he is going to float his way down over here. We need to do some part detachment. So, we are going to hop into this mode here. We're going to detach this guy, and for now, we're just going to set them on the ground here. We'll detach our batteries. And these will need to be attached to the outpost. We'll need to walk our way over this way slightly, but that's fine. There we go. And now we'll head over to the outpost, and we'll look to attach all of this. So, we're going to put the batteries here. There we go. Only mildly awkward. And we'll just move the rest of these over. I didn't realize that the rocks would be this flickery while doing this. That's not amazing. If that causes any photosensitivity, I apologize. Okay, so we're going to attach this guy here, assuming the game lets us. It does not seem to want to. What if we moved this one in? No? Boy, it really doesn't want us to attach here. We were able to attach here, but not to these. Maybe if we flipped it over? Rotated it for some reason? I mean, we could just attach them here. That's only mildly awkward. Or we could put them on top. That's only mildly awkward as well. Actually, I kind of like this. This is the most Kerbal solution. Why is there an attachment point on the top of hemispherical fuel tanks anyway? That's very strange. So I'm going to attach the Gigantors here so that they don't interfere with these guys. And there we go. There's our upgrade installed. Beautiful. So now Bill can make his way on over this direction. And he can just park here for the time being. We want to get our deployed science done, but I do want to hop over here real quick, and we will extend our solar panels. That is so much additional power flow and storage. We're much better off now for power. Beautiful. So now we can transmit our science. Not even difficult. Beautiful. So technically at this point, I believe that our contract is complete. Our contract does not require us to come back, although we will do that. Yeah, I'm just reading through the contract here. So it looks like that is done. It's a hard difficulty contract. So we are simply going to call that complete. So what do we need to get that done? We need to go into our cheats and we add in 100,000 for a hard difficulty contract. Cool. So that contract is done, but our mission here is not. We're now going to have Bob EVA. And Bob is going to climb down here and hand out some parts to Bill. So, Bill is going to need to have his... Oh, where are we going to store this stuff? Right. I think the way that we did this before was we did that. Yeah. So Bill is just going to position this stuff out over here. We're going to get all of this built as quickly as we can. And literally all we have to do is drop these off, right? So we're going to do exactly that. Bill's a level 2 engineer, so we'll have a lot of power here. This is Jebediah. This is Sonley. Here's Bob. Cool. So now we're going to deposit another one. Okay, Bill. Let's get another one set down here. And we can come back and deposit more of these if we want to later. It's not strictly necessary, but we can do that. So Bob is now going to continue to drop these down to Bill. Magnificent. And let's get ourselves another solar panel set up. There we go. Time for the next one. Really, if we wanted to be clever, we could do it assembly line style with Jeb, but that sounds like work. Where are we at? Bob. There we go. We want to hand down another power panel. There's Bill. Cool. So now we're going to get that set up and just set that up. Here is fine. I'm sure it won't have a problem with clipping into the rock. So that'll be okay. That is Jebediah. I keep forgetting what direction we're going. There we go. Hello, Bob. Now we're going to set up our comms unit. Right? None of these have to be set up by any particular type of Kerbal, I believe. So we can have all of those get set up by an engineer. Should be okay. So we'll put in our comms unit. That can go here. Just trying to keep it pretty close for the sake of time. There we go. And we're going to then put down our mission command thing, but we'll need to move that on up. That's fine. Bill, head on over now that you no longer have a parachute. Cool. And we'll drop our mission control there. And we'll head right on back. Next is, of course, going to be like this seismometer, but the moon is not tectonically active. In order to get science from this, we would have to crash things into the moon, which may or may not end up happening. Okay. So next we are going to put up our... Is this a weather analyzer? Yeah, that's a weather analyzer. That's not going to be very helpful here either. There's no weather on the moon, as it turns out. It turns out there's no atmosphere, so that's not going to be a very useful thing. But we'll put it here anyway. Who knows? We might have a stray thunderstorm come through. And we need to analyze it if it does. We have to be prepared. So now we're going to put down our Guab-ED monitor, which is actually going to generate us some science. Literally the only thing here that's likely to generate us some science, unless we actively try to get science out of it. But there we go. That's all set up and good to go. Now we need to give Bill his equipment back. So we'll give him his parachute and his EVA kit. Beautiful. Now Bob can fly back in. Bob? I told him to grab, and he did, but then he let go instantly. Good job, Bob. We'll try this again. He turned off his RCS pack, too. There we go. Now you can hop in. You can grab the surface sample, but you can't actually store it anywhere, so there's no point. And at this point, we are going to have Bill turn his RCS on. And up he goes. Gonna back off a little bit because this is a little bit bulbous. Don't want to hit our head on it. Cool. We'll board that. And at this point, we're ready to go. We are done here. So, servicing mission is complete. I hope that you enjoyed having some company for a bit there, Sonley. It'll be a... Was the name Sonley? Yeah, Sonley. I hope that you enjoyed your company. It'll be potentially many years before you see another Kerbal again. Enjoy your batteries that are precariously perched. I like it. And we're out of here. Let's go. Retracting our landing legs. And we're going to park at about the 45-degree angle here. I want to keep an eye on our time to apoapsis here. As long as time to apoapsis is still increasing, I'm completely content to continue heading over towards the horizon. This is actually a very, very clear direction to fly into, so... It's currently decreasing. I don't want to be in target mode, I want to be in orbit mode. Okay, we'll sit about here for now. Cool. We're pushing our apoapsis up until it's a little higher than this, obviously. But we are on our way home. 3.5 kilometers is not tremendously high for an apoapsis, but I would like to park in the prograde marker here. We can see time to apoapsis is currently decreasing. I'm hoping that starts to go back up. If not, we can get additional vertical height. I want to sit at the prograde marker, but I don't think we have... Oh, wait. No, we do not have enough vertical speed. So we're going to have to park out over this way for the time being. I'm just going to burn pure vertical for a moment here. It's trying to take us back to the prograde marker, but I just want to get some vertical speed. Okay. Let's see how that goes. Back to the prograde marker. Almost 30 seconds to apoapsis. Yeah, that seems okay. We're currently about 14 kilometers away from our landing site. And an apoapsis of approaching 5 kilometers. We definitely need additional horizontal speed. No doubt about that one, but we are currently looking to clear the horizon. So I think for the moment it's okay, but we're probably going to need more altitude here. Yeah, we've got like 8 seconds to apoapsis here, but our horizontal speed is looking good. Let's get ourselves a little bit more verticality here. We want mostly horizontal speed, after all. Okay, that's 45 seconds. 47, 48. Okay, we're good. We are good as long as we don't hit this outcropping here. And I don't think we will. I think we'll clear that. Right? I'm pretty sure we'll clear that. We're targeting about 15 kilometers here for our apoapsis, so that's 16 there. We'll shut it down. Beautiful. That's about 11 minutes away. Yeah, we're going to clear this. We're definitely going to clear this. So that looks good. We are, of course, way out over here for the apoapsis. We need almost nothing to get into orbit because we were so heavy on our horizontal speed there. This is close enough. We're, of course, so low right now that we're not going to be very successful at time warping. That's going to be a thing, but we are raising up our speed here. So we actually do get a 10x time warp out of it. I am shocked that we're able to do a 10x time warp at this altitude. But I'm completely okay with it. It's better than nothing, that's for sure. Where's this burn going to be? Not ideal. Okay, so we'll just circularize our burn. I was hoping that we'd be in a position where this would just directly take us back to Kerbin. It's not. That's okay. So this burn is going to be in about 15, or rather in about a minute here. We're going to warp forward a little bit further. 30 seconds, 20, 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And circularization burn shutdown. That was a really, really, really easy circularization burn. So right about here, we're going to add a maneuver. This is going to be a prograde maneuver. And this is just going to be our return trajectory. So we're just going to bring this right on down. If I can pin that open. There we go. We're going to bring this right on down, continuing to burn prograde until this is around 40 kilometers. We'll dial that in. This is close enough. Cool. So we basically need to flip to retrograde, right? Basically. Not quite. We'll just move it up over here, and we'll be heading home in about 20 minutes. Beautiful. Now that we're in orbit, we can time warp a lot faster. So that's great. And looks like this may be a little bit of a long episode, but that's fine. Now, note that we don't have our heat shields on the bottom here. I'm still going to try to recover this whole thing, I think, with the amount of spare Delta V that we've got. We'll see how that goes. We'll warp forward a little bit further. 30 seconds. 20. 10. And mark. Okay. So off we go. We are going to burn about 300 meters per second here. We've got so much delta V in this thing. It's insane. I am going to try to bring this whole thing, like I said. So we will retract our antenna once we're a little bit closer. Probably when we're doing our radial retrograde burn. So that seems reasonably fine. But we are leaving the moon. Let's lock to prograde for right now. That should be fine. Cool. About 130 meters per second to go. Of course, our thrust to weight on this is not the absolute highest. But that's okay. We've got so much fuel in this. We can go a lot of places, actually. This thing would theoretically be capable of doing some pretty decent interplanetary runs, I would think. Okay, I'm just going to adjust our heading here a little bit. 20 meters per second to go in this burn. We'll call that good enough. Overshot by 1 meter per second. What did that put us at? 15 kilometers? Honestly, that's fine. So around, let's see, this is 1 day, 4 hours, 44 minutes. Okay, so on this side is where we're coming in. We'll be coming in and doing a radial retrograde burn somewhere around here. How much do we want to burn off in this? Well, honestly, we can burn quite a lot. That's 67 kilometers there. I think we can change our timing here. I did not mean to throw that in there. So let's change our timing to be about here. We back off a bit on the radial. And then we back off a bit on the retrograde. And then we toss maybe a little bit more radial in. And a little bit more retrograde. And we call it something like this. That should do the trick. We will enter the atmosphere during that burn, which is fine. I'm completely okay with this. So we're going to position for the burn. I'm going to retract our antenna now. We do not need it. Sorry, guys, you're going to have to live without your Ketflix subscription for about a day. But that's fine. We're going to retract that antenna just in case we grab our magnetometer report. Magnetometer report grabbed. Excellent. Oh, hi, Kerbin. Okay, so we definitely want to retract our magnetometer boom. I don't think that's a physics part, but... Oh, it feels like we're coming in so steeply. And we kind of are, to be honest. Boy, look at that. It looks like it's an impact trajectory, but it actually isn't. We're not going in the direction we're pointing. I want to point that out. We are not going in the direction we're pointing, but this is a pretty aggressive trajectory. What is our final trajectory, though? It's still pretty aggressive, to be honest. That's okay. Starting burn in about 15 seconds here. It is going to be a 3-minute long burn. But this is going to bleed a lot of speed off. We can see that we're still about 4 minutes to periapsis, so yeah, this is about right. Commence burn. Cool. We are barely decelerating. But that is because we're also fighting our gravitational potential, right? Because we're also accelerating towards the periapsis right now. So that's fine. I'm going to, at this moment, retract our solar panels. We no longer need the solar panels. And we can definitely physics warp a bit here. The game just became very laggy, but I think it was loading in. Yeah, it was loading in, so that's fine. Cool. Radial retrograde burn is, of course, slowing us down quite a lot before we hit the atmosphere. So this is kind of a re-entry burn here. Kind of. And we're going to burn out these tanks in this burn. So if we need to ditch these tanks, we certainly can. And that's this here. I'm going to move them up. I would like to recover them. We'll see how realistic that is. Coming out of physics warp. There we go. We're still continuing to decelerate here. We're going to hit the atmosphere very shortly. And where are we going to be landing? Is this going to be a land or water landing? It looks an awful lot like a land landing, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Okay, we're now flying high. I'm going to collect all of the data that we can. And we'll grab an atmospheric analysis here. But we do need to open our service bay to do that. Okay, so we grabbed that, and we'll reclose our service bay. At this point, I'm just going to go over to retrograde. And we're going to burn here until this periapsis is, I don't know, something like 15 kilometers. Cool. About like that. Now we've got a lot of fuel left in this tank still. And we can see that we are still accelerating, which is to be expected. With the engine shut down, it is expected that we're accelerating here. We don't have a huge amount of drag yet. We'll see if we need to do a re-entry burn as we go through the atmosphere here. Realistically, this is like dead weight. We don't necessarily need that, but it's fine. It's fine. We're still accelerating at this time, but we can see that we're still quite high up, right? We're still 60 kilometers up. I would like to grab this atmospheric analysis. But apparently we can't grab it. Okay. Noted. Well, that's fine. We are still accelerating at this point, but it's definitely slowed down, the acceleration. There we go. We're now projected to impact in Highlands. Reasonably expected there. There, we're starting to slow down. I like it. Keep in mind, we slow down a lot slower without the ridiculous amount of drag from heat shields. So, to that end, I'm going to commence a burn here. And this is a little confused and doesn't know how much we have left because I didn't stage. So we'll have to keep an eye on our liquid fuel here. But I'm definitely commencing a re-entry burn at this moment. We will want to extend our landing legs since we're going to be landing on land. And let's bring this right on down. We're just waiting at this point until we are going slowly enough that we never, or rather that we don't have this huge plasma situation going on. What is this? What is this straight line here? Is that a thing? Like an Easter egg? Or is that just a bug? It's hard to tell. I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's very strange. Regardless, we're currently going at about 1.8 meters, or rather kilometers per second. We're going to keep a little bit of fuel in the tank in order to get ourselves a landing burn. Not that it's going to be hugely efficient in terms of thrust to weight. Our current thrust to weight is 0.77, but it'll be somewhat helpful. 1.6 kilometers per second at this moment. And I'm going to keep about 10 units of liquid fuel for our landing burn. There, that'll do. So re-entry burn shutdown, and we'll just keep on slowing down. This is definitely not slowing as much as I'd like it to. Now we're starting to get some slowdown as the atmosphere is getting thicker. Good. Do we need to burn again? Oh, okay. We're apparently tumbling. I didn't expect this to not be aerodynamically stable. I suppose it would be if we had heat shields on there, but I guess it isn't. Okay, that's completely fine. We can get the drogue chutes out at this point, and I guess we can grab crew report and a temperature scan. And the drogue chutes allow us to get the mains out, and of course we're completely fine from here. The chutes give us what we need in terms of pulling us around, and it seems good. So we'll physics warp our way down a bit. Okay, I don't like the physics warping, necessarily. Yeah, this thing really doesn't like to be aerodynamically stable. Noted. I mean, to be clear, we're bringing back more than we planned for. We have a heat shield right here, so we intended to bring this back, not all of this. We're just kind of stretch goaling here. I'm going to put us in retrograde, and we'll see if we manage to make our way there. with SAS on. Actually, it does make it there with SAS on. But we want to be in surface retrograde. That's probably part of the problem. Cool. So let's physics warp our way down a bit. This looks like we might be landing on a somewhat steep portion. We'll see. What's our radar altitude? Yeah. Okay. There's our drogue chutes deploying. Main chutes will be shortly after. We're moving at about 50 meters per second right now. Main chutes will deploy shortly, and then we'll have Bill hop out, or rather Bob hop out and grab an EVA report. Okay. Slowing us down to about 8 meters per second. That's really not bad. So Bob is going to hop out, EVA report, and we'll hop on in. Beautiful. We'll physics warp down a bit, but I don't like this situation, right? I'm going to physics warp on like 2x. 4x seems a bit much. And down we come. We are currently about 200 meters up. 150. 100 meters up. And we'll just cushion our landing here with that last little bit of fuel that we saved. Cool. So we're sliding a bit, no doubt about that, and we'll grab whatever we can here. Crew report, temperature scan, let Bob EVA and grab the EVA report and the surface sample. Not that those are particularly valuable, but there we go. And now we'll see if we can recover this thing. Is it because we're sliding? It might be because we're sliding. We definitely did come down in a somewhat steep area. Can we recover it from here? No, we're just sliding. Okay. Well, it is past time to put a cut in here. As soon as we're done with this sliding, we will recover these guys. That's probably a next episode sort of thing at this point, and then we'll embark on another mission. This episode has gone a little long, for sure. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, MLohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.